there's no need even to have a college degree at all, or even high school. I seem to have a high innate drive, really had a very strong drive. I care a lot about the truth of things and trying to understand the truth of things. So I think that's important. When I interview somebody, I really just ask them to tell me the story of their career and what are some of the tougher problems that they dealt with, how they dealt with those, and how they made decisions at key transition points. And usually that's enough for me to get a very good gut feel about someone. And what I'm really looking for is evidence of exceptional ability. So did they face really difficult problems and overcome them? And then of course you want to make sure that if there was some significant accomplishment, were they really responsible, or was somebody else more responsible? And usually the person who's had to struggle with the problem, they really understand it, and they don't forget, if it was very difficult. So you can ask them very detailed questions about it, and they'll know the answer. Okay. Whereas the person who was not truly responsible for that accomplishment will not know the details. There's no need even to have a college degree at all, or even high school. If somebody graduated from a great university, that may be an indication that they will be capable of great things, but it's not necessarily the case. If you look at say people like Bill Gates, Larry Ellison, Steve Jobs, these guys didn't graduate from college. But if you had a chance to hire them, of course, that would be a good idea. So, just looking just for evidence of exceptional ability. And if there's a track record of exceptional achievement, then it's likely that will continue into the future.
What does people like you and Steve Jobs have in common? Or Bill Gates or people like that? What is it you have in common with them?
Well, those are pretty different personalities, between Gates and Jobs and Ellison.
Business and success?
I think, all three of those were technologists, but with different types of skills. Jobs was obviously very good with aesthetics, and he understood technology, of course, and he really understood what people wanted even when they didn't know themselves. And he was not afraid to break boundaries. But like Gates would probably be better at sort of raw engineering and technology than Jobs, but not as good on aesthetics. But for all of these guys, they're obviously very driven. And they're very talented, and they're able to attract great people to build a company. The ability to attract and motivate great people is critical to the success of a company, because a company is it's a group of people that are assembled to create a product or service. That's the purpose of a company. People sometimes forget this elementary truth. And so, if you're able to get great people to join the company and work together towards a common goal, and you sort of have a relentless sense of perfection about that goal, then you will end up with a great product. And if you have a great product, lots of people will buy it, and then the company will be successful.
Yeah.
But really, it's pretty straightforward, really. That's the reason for it.
How would you describe yourself? What are the main attributes you have?
How I describe myself? I seem to have a high innate drive, and that's been true even since I was a little kid. I really had a very strong drive. I care a lot about the truth of things and trying to understand the truth of things. I think that's important. If you're going to come up with some solution, then the truth is really, really important. I think sometimes they're just the things that seem quite clear and obvious to me, and I don't understand why they aren't so obvious to everyone.
So would you describe yourself as fearless? I mean, are there areas when you seek people for advice, and who do you ask for?
I wouldn't say I'm fearless. In fact, I think I feel fear quite strongly. But if what we're doing is what I'm doing is I think is important enough, then I just override the fear. Mm-hmm. So, but it's not as though I feel it more strongly than I would like.
And which areas would you never go full risk if you still are fearful?
Well, it really depends on the stakes. If the stakes are high, if it's really important, then I will overcome the fear and just do it anyway. Mm-hmm. But essentially, I just drive overrides fear, but I feel the fear. It's kind of annoying. I wish I felt it less.
Uh-huh.
Which company you founded was the most risky at the start?
Well, probably SpaceX. I thought it had the lowest chance of success. I thought both Tesla and SpaceX would fail at the beginning.
You thought?
Yeah, sure.
Really?
Of course.
But nevertheless, you put all your money in that. Both.
I expected to lose it. Well, technically, what I thought was, well, I'll take half the money from PayPal, and if I lose half of it, that's okay. But then, of course, the companies encounter difficulties, and then I have a choice of either let the company die or put, all the money into the companies. And so I really didn't want the companies to die, so I put all the money in the companies.
Yeah.
And then I had to borrow money from friends to pay living expenses.